Welcome! So today we're doing something a little bit different. We're actually going to pull back the curtain and show you how the sausage is made, so to speak. This whole explainer is about the blueprint itself, a really solid formula for taking any complicated topic and making it not just easy to understand, but actually interesting.
So here's our game plan for today. We'll kick things off with the big challenge, then I'll introduce you to something called the GeneCapsule formula. From there, we'll break it down piece by piece, how to hook people in, how to actually build understanding, and then how to show the bigger picture. And at the end, we'll put it all together into a blueprint you can use yourself. Okay, let's get into it.
All right, so let's start with the problem that I think we all face. It doesn't matter if you're a teacher, a manager, or you're just trying to explain a cool idea to a friend, we've all been stuck here. And it really comes down to this question, right? How do you take something that's dense, that's really important, but maybe, let's be honest, a little dry, and make people actually want to listen? It's a tough nut to crack.
Because here's the thing. Really important information gets lost all the time. It just doesn't connect with people because it's thrown at them like this huge wall of facts instead of being a clear, engaging story. We've all stared at that wall, and we've all probably built one too.
So what if there was a way around that wall? A proven formula to fix this? Well, there is. We're going to look at a method that was perfected by an educational channel that specializes in one of the most complex topics out there, sustainability.
And this slide says it all. The key isn't to dumb it down. It's to structure it up. The real secret isn't just what you say, it's how you say it, the order you present it in. The answer, plain and simple, is structure.
And here it is. The solution is a 7-step formula. Now, this framework was actually developed by a YouTube channel called GeneCapsule, and their whole mission is to make the super complicated world of ESG and responsible investing make sense to everybody. And hey, just to make sure we're all on the same page, ESG stands for Environmental, Social, and Governance. You can think of it as a way of looking at a company's impact on the world, not just its bottom line. It's a pretty complex field, and it's exactly where this 7-step formula was born.
Okay, let's start breaking this formula down, beginning with the most important part, the first few seconds. How do you grab your audience and make them stick around?
The beginning is basically a 3-part move. First, you've got the hook, a surprising stat or a cool fact that makes people go, huh, really? Second, the introduction, where you just straight up say what you're talking about, and this is key, why they should care. And third, the core concept, where you give the simplest, big picture explanation. You're basically making a deal with your audience, promising them that this will be worth their time.
I really love this quote. It's so true. A good hook isn't just some random piece of trivia. It's a promise. You're signaling to your viewer, hey, I value your time and I've got something really interesting for you. That gets people on board immediately.
Okay, so you've got their attention. Fantastic. Now for the main event, building real, genuine understanding. And this is where we have to get out of the clouds and back down to earth.
This right here is probably the most important shift you can make as a communicator. You have to move from just talking about an idea, like ESG, to showing how a real company actually uses it. It's the classic show, don't tell. And that brings us right to step 4 in the formula. Use a real-world example. This is what makes your big idea feel real and tangible. It's the proof that what you're talking about isn't just some abstract theory. It actually matters.
So for example, instead of just saying a phrase like corporate sustainability, you show them this. You say, check this out. Look at Apple. They're actually doing it. They're aiming to use 35% recycled materials by 2026. And boom, just like that, a vague concept becomes a concrete, measurable goal. It just clicks.
But you can't just stop at the example. You have to zoom back out. That's step 5. This is where you connect the dots for your audience and answer that big so what question. Why does what Apple is doing matter for the whole tech industry? What does it signal to investors? This is what gives your explanation real weight and relevance.
All right, it's time for the grand finale. How do you wrap things up in a way that feels satisfying and leaves a lasting impression? This is all about landing the plane and looking ahead.
So, the last 2 steps are the future outlook and the summary. First, you look to the future. What's coming next? What are the new trends? This makes your content feel fresh and relevant. Then, you bring it all home with a super quick, punchy recap of the main points you absolutely want them to walk away with. So, there you have it. We've gone through all the different parts. Now, let's put it all together one last time, so you have a clear, actionable blueprint that you can use for any topic you want to explain. And here it is, the whole journey from start to finish.
You start with a hook, you set the stage with an intro and the core concept, you build that deep understanding with a real-world example and the industry impact, and then you stick the landing with a future outlook and a summary. It's a complete roadmap for clear communication.
Because at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. We're not just reading off facts, we're building a bridge that lets anyone walk from a place of confusion over to a place of clarity. And that is the incredible power of using good structure.
So I'll just leave you with one question. Think about that subject you're really passionate about, or that idea at work that nobody seems to understand. You now have the blueprint. So what complex topic are you going to make simple next?